Motorcycle Adventure Dirtbike TV is proudly supported by Giant Loop, Rally Raid Products and Adventure Moto. Is there any truth that Nugget has come off today? Yes. In this episode we have our first day in the Simpson desert and take on some of the smaller dunes. It should have been relatively easy, but frankly it didn't go too well. We lost a rider, a bike, picked up a couple of extra broken bones and other injuries, lost valuable fuel, a tent and rider's clothes. But hey, that's the nature of motorcycle adventure. Well, we're finally there, mate.
Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? So we all had a pretty good sleep. We've had a swim in the springs, which I'd recommend to anyone. We're just going to wait for the sunrise, which will be spectacular. Then we're going to go early before the four-wheel drives.
The Aussies are getting you?
Yeah, but once the sun comes up, they go away and then you get the flies. But Dalhousie, we're leaving and hitting it. And yeah, hopefully a couple of days' time, Birdsville.
Look, we've got it all together here. Got my seat just in case.
Yeah.
Sleeping bag. I'm a bit worried with how much fuel I'm carrying on this back rack, but I'm just going to take it easy.
So what, you're just slowing down to 120?
Yeah, I've cut off the number plate because I keep bottoming out. But, it's held together with a spaghetti tin, but yeah, I think we're...
Heading out into the desert early in the morning has a number of advantages. During the cool night, the sand settles, and in the morning it's not as slippery and much easier to ride. Getting out before the four-wheel drives ensures we have the best riding conditions for the day. And then of course there's the heat.
Well, it's just before sunrise and we're heading into the Simpson desert to keep ourselves cool. The forecast temperature today is 30 degrees and wrestling bikes in those sort of conditions in deep sand can really be taxing. So it's really good to get as much distance under our belts before the summer sun hits.
We are heading to Perney Bore for morning tea, and this will be the easiest riding conditions we'll have for the day. After Perney Bore, the dunes get bigger and the sand gets deeper and more challenging. How's our bikes, Flip? Don't they handle the sand well?
It's fantastic. I'm in dreamland here.
Yeah.
The weight distribution is just
Perfect, isn't it?
the corrugation, we barely feel them. We just cruise along. It's really fantastic. This is a desert machine. It's in the.
I think we did really well.
Yeah.
That's what I reckon.
Best bike here.
What? Oh, sorry. Oh, look, there's the desert princess. And then the gremlins started to emerge when Wayne discovered he'd lost valuable fuel. So you lost your fuel can, Wayne. Did you lose much fuel?
Yeah, I lost about half. So,
Half?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So then I had to stop
Yep.
and refill.
Yep.
So now
What sort of bar are you looking for?
I'll make it or I'll use everyone else's fuel.
That's all right. I've still got 11.
So thank God everyone's got extra fuel.
Whilst these riding conditions were easy, spare a thought for Alex, who was dosed to the max on painkillers and had a broken back. I have no idea how he was continuing on.
Oh, so we're here at Perney Bore. 30 k's to go before the rig road turn off. Basically, yeah, 30 k's to go, then another 40, 50, 35, 40. If we can make Popple Corner today, I think we'd all be rather happy with that. And then...
Hey, Oink. Yes? Is there any truth that Nugget has come off today? Yes. Nugget, have you come off today?
Poor Roink, he was under the sand. He couldn't talk.
Yeah, I
Went in a little soft patch. Just lost the front end and ended up biting the dirt. Sand, I should say.
But it's not only a DR sort of problem. Mal.
I went down on sympathy.
He went down on Sympathy?
Yeah, I saw him down there and I caught the same, well not the same rut, but another route and lost the front end and down I went as well.
Yeah, I can see Mal would later discover he had broken 2 ribs.
Hit a bit hard, but okay.
How you going, Alex?
Going all right. Yeah, no, going fine. Bike's handling well. Now that I've dropped an awful lot of weight, I'm feeling good.
For most average riders, heading straight in soft sand isn't too much of a problem. But negotiating an off-camber soft sand turn, whipped up by 4-wheel drives on heavily loaded bikes, is another thing. Welcome to the Simpson! These types of riding conditions in the heat of the desert quickly drain your energy. The name of the game is to ride as many of these turns as you can clean without any struggle. But for Alex, disabled by severe pain from a broken back, these riding conditions quickly took him to his limits. Meanwhile, Philippe and I were eating up the miles on our Katos. There is nothing more pleasurable than sitting behind one of your mates clipping along on a great adventure trail. Our bikes were balanced and handled the conditions perfectly. The extra effort we had spent setting up and tuning the suspension for the weight of our gear had all been worth it, and it made riding these conditions all the more pleasurable. The riding was brilliant. Each dune was different, but there was a rhythm between the sand and the hard pack between the dunes. It just put a smile on your face. Adventure riding in the middle of nowhere, eating up the miles, taking on the challenges and moving on to the next one. This was ADV heaven.
He was 6'4" and full of muscle.
So, Nugget, we're in the middle of the desert here. What's happening to Suzuki again?
The same mistake. The spaghetti tin, the Campbell spaghetti tin, is made of too thin of metal. It's come loose, but I've rigged it back up.
Yeah. You got some other problems?
Yeah, my rack. I've lost a bolt here, which I think's caused my rack to snap on the other side.
I'll have a look at that. Just hang on.
Yeah.
So, put that on.
Yep.
One snap. Okay. As we headed further into the desert, the gremlins started to add up. Wayne with his lost fuel, Mal with 2 broken ribs, Nugget with a broken rack and continuing exhaust problems, and Alex with his serious injury. What we didn't know was for the past 200 sand dunes, Alex had been constantly slipping his clutch at full power in an attempt to smooth out the ride and ease his pain. Life was about to get real difficult. Alex, what's happened?
Well, it would seem I've probably been riding the clutch a bit too much, and now I have no clutch, so we're letting the bike cool down. And I hope that the clutch might come back to life.
My prognosis is the clutch is knackered, and if it is, hey, we've only got 800 sand dunes to go.
Well, that's a relief.
Wayne's ready to push. Look, hey Wayne, put up your hand, you're ready to push. See that? Oh, it's a little hand, it wasn't.
DR's got a tow rope. It would be no inconvenience for the DR to tow the KTM to Birdsville.
Oh, ouch.
Inconvenience at all.
Ouch.
Yeah, I don't think I can live with the indignity. I think I'll just die.
I think I'd have to put you down, Alex.
Yeah.
There is no way that a DR is towing us into there.
Yeah, I think I'd put myself down, actually.
Anyway, let's see what happens. After all, it is an adventure.
It certainly is.
Thinking of you, Darren. As doubling Alex or towing Alex's bike was impossible, there were now two priorities. The first was to call for assistance on our satellite phone and provide our location and set a recovery plan in place for Alex and the bike. There's not too many taxi services in the desert, and options for Alex were looking bleak. One thing was for sure, we weren't going to leave him there alone.
So it's there somewhere around here. 5 by 5. Just hold on a second. Hello, you there? Okay, the coordinates are south 26 degrees 07.75. We're on the French line, approximately 155 kilometres from Dalhousie Springs.
As we were contemplating Alex's fate, a little luck finally went our way when a convoy of four-wheel drivers stopped to help us and generously agreed to take Alex to Birdsville. Alex's journey would now be a lot slower, but he would live in luxury and be fed like a king. Now knowing Alex's injuries, I'm pretty confident he would not have made it, as the conditions were only going to get worse.
Keep up the fight, we'll see you soon.
Right, okay.
You've probably got 3 days in the desert now.
Righto. Okay.
You won't get as close a look at it. You've got sand.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for your help and generosity. Thank
Can't
you.
leave him out here, eh?
No, that's what I thought.
For a first timer in the desert, Wayne was setting a decent pace and seemed to have the sand riding figured out. But with all the delays, we were getting well behind schedule and we decided to up the pace and push on. With water reserves planned for 2 days, no one was keen to spend a third day in the desert. Half the secret of riding the desert safely is to understand fatigue and know when to rest and recover before mistakes take over. In hindsight, we should have been looking for a campsite to rest for the night. Pushing on merely led to more crashes that damaged riders and bikes.
Boy, it's not one thing, it's another. That's pissing out. We've got to get that out of there. Here's a hose. Here, just take that. Just pull this off the end here. You got a pair of pliers? Just get this off the end. Come on, mate. We've got to get this done.
It looks like the series of mishap is going on. Now I got a ruptured petrol tank, so we are trying to recover as much as we can. Fortunately, it must have happened, just a few 100 meters away, so we got most of it out. And I'm
in
putting
time.
what was in my back tank. I'm putting that at the front tank, so it should be all right.
So you're going to save most of it?
Yeah.
Lucky the DR was carrying a spare fuel tank.
Nugget, it's not stopping, mate.
It's not stopping, yeah. And Mal, how are you going?
I'm struggling. I'll be perfectly honest, mate. I am struggling.
Yeah, you've hurt your ribs in a 4 today, and
Ribs, and if I stand, it hurts. If I sit, it hurts, and I'm just having trouble over the top of the dunes.
very soft of an afternoon, aren't they?
So,
The sneaky old DR just keeps on keeping on, though. I love you, brother.
Mate, this has been relentless today. Lots of mishaps. So you went over the handlebars while Philippe was having his petrol crisis.
Yeah, because it was a big clump of bush. I thought it'd be sand, but it was
Concrete.
Like solid rock.
Funny
I hit it
about
head first, so
You all right?
yeah. Sore
And this-
scars, but I'm all right.
Philippe, just bend over. This won't hurt.
Philippe was the next one to take a fall, and I would give him some first aid at our campsite for the night. He'd finished the day rather badly. He had cut his nose, lost his tent, and his clothes had fallen onto the exhaust and had been destroyed. We had made up time and were now in striking distance of Birdsville the following day. But at what cost?
The great thing about working on Philippe, he's got a large nose. There's tons to work with.
Yeah, for anybody, the size of the nose is in direct relation to their attribute.
Is it?
Oh yeah.